Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another video. Now, in case some of you may not have heard, Canelo Alvarez has been stripped by the IBF, been stripped of his IBF title due to his inability to come to an agreement with his mandatory challenger, Sergey Deverchenko. So apparently he has been stripped, and Oscar De La Hoya is not pleased about this decision coming from the IBF, and now he's threatening to take legal action against him. So we'll see how that pans out. But needless to say, as of right now, Sergey Deverchenko will be fighting for the vacant title. And how the IBF does things is that whenever the champion cannot defend the title, the vacant title will be defended by the next highest ranked opponent in that sanctioning body. Not by, choosing the top, the top 10 or the top 5 like the WBC or the WBA or the WBO does it. But the IBF do it strictly on their top rated fighters. Chronological order, I should say. So with that said, or numerical order, I should say. So with that said, the next guy who's the next highest rated challenger in that sanctioning body next to Deverchenko is Gennady Golovkin. So I expect that fight to be made. Sorry about that, y'all. Got a little notification. Turn that off. So I think that fight's going to be made next, which I think it should be made. I think it's going to be a very good fight between Sergey Deverchenko and Gennady Golovkin. Now, mind you, Gennady Golovkin was a guy who also ducked Deverchenko when he was the champion for that sanctioned body. He refused to defend his title against him, and we all know why he did it. He wasn't afraid of Deverchenko, so let's not get that twisted, okay? It was just the fact that he wanted to make sure that he could secure this big money fight against Canelo Alvarez, although Canelo Alvarez himself was coming off a PED situation where he got caught with Combuterol, all right? So we don't need to go back and rehash that situation. We know how that played out. But needless to say, though, I know a lot of people are going to be upset about this because Canelo had kind of stalled this out way too long, where he could have went and pursued the Demetrius Andre fight, and we could have had that undisputed unification bout, for the middleweight title. The last guy to hold the undisputed middleweight title was Jermaine Taylor, and you know how long ago that was. That was about 14 years ago. So yeah, and a lot, Canelo definitely does deserve heat for this because he's dragged this process out way too long trying to find an opponent. He should have fought Andre. Now I'm hearing that he's actually negotiating with Andrade now, and he should have did this earlier before the IBF decided to go ahead and mandate the fight between him and between Canelo himself versus Sergey Deverchenko. But it is what it is. Another thing I want to add some more of my input into the Dillian Whyte situation. All right, now I'm seeing some videos going around saying that, hey, he's cleared by VADA, which means is that he's a clean fighter. No. Okay. When you fail a drug test, you fail a drug test, all right? There's no way around it. It doesn't matter who's testing you, whether it's the athletic state commissions or the athletic, nation's athletic commissions, like, for example, UCAD, or whether it's a local citywide athletic commission. Whoever catches you, they catch you. And UCAD was the one who caught Dillian Whyte, not VADA, okay? So I know people are saying that it's a conspiracy that the WBC decides to suspend Dillian Whyte because they choose UCAD over VADA, who's supposed to be who actually are the gold standard when it comes to drug testing. Now, let's make this clear, people. VADA make mistakes themselves too, okay? I'm not saying they made a mistake here. What I'm saying is they're not perfect. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Lucien Bute and Badou Jack, they have VADA drug testing for that fight, okay? Lucien Bute is the guy that comes into question here because he's the one who got popped after the fight with Badou Jack. All right. He passed all his VADA testing, but guess who caught him for that failed drug test? No, it wasn't VADA. It was the DC Athletic Commission, where the fight was actually held in DC when him and Badou Jack fought. Okay. The fight was fought to a draw, which was a very controversial draw because many people felt that Jack won that fight. But the decision was overturned because Bute was caught and he was in deep shit with the DC Athletic Commission. Of course, his B sample came back positive, which, by the way, never took that long to receive that result. And the decision with him and Jack was overturned to a victory for Badou Jack, and Bute took a loss. So I want people to be very, kind of get that out of their heads and believe that VADA can never be wrong here. I'm not saying they screwed up here. What I'm saying is that sometimes they can't catch fighters at 100% accuracy. They cannot do it. They're human just like everyone else, plain and simple. That's the reason why you have more than one entity that tests fighters. In this situation, not only Vada was involved, but only to an extent, as Thomas Hauser pointed out, but you had UCAT that was involved as well. Okay? And Dillian Whyte fucked up when he when he kind of underestimated that situation when UCAT showed up out of nowhere and tested him. So let's play it simple, all right? So people were saying that Dillian Whyte is clear, he's clear of wrongdoing. No. He's not out of the woods yet. This is going to be a long process, believe you and me, okay? And I really believe, and I could be wrong here, that B sample is probably positive. They're just trying to find a way to draw, to run out the clock on it. But who knows? It could come back negative. But I do find it very strange that somehow, some way, that this thing is taking longer than expected. It's nearly 3 weeks now. We haven't gotten the result of the B sample. And now people are running around saying, oh, the B sample doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now that VADA has cleared him for the post-fight drug test. No. In case people don't know, and I recently found out that, which I don't know how I didn't catch this, is that Dillian Whyte failed the drug test on June 17th, not July 17th, as we initially thought. Okay? So from that standpoint, the B sample could have been collected from there. Now, I'm just speculating, but the thing is, this whole thing does not add up at all. It does not add up. So I just want to throw my thoughts on there about that and just let you guys know that VADA is human just like everyone else. They cannot be 100% accurate. They may not catch every single athlete out there. So, coincidentally or just surprisingly, UCAT was the one that caught him. Plain and simple. And Dillian has to deal with UCAT. And let's not forget that he wins that fight with possible tainted gloves. By the way, when people want to sweep that under the rug, think that's okay. I'm out. Peace.